Have you heard the word austral or australis before? It's Latin, meaning south and relating to the southern hemisphere. Thus, Australia, the southern continent, or Austral beer, beer brewed in Punta Arenas, Chile. In February 2020, Australis means an expedition cruise going from Ushuaia to Cape Horn, then along Chile's Glacier Alley to Punta Arenas on the Stella Australis, carrying 160 passengers. We have a round of applause for the crew, the guides, and the captain. We leave the lights of Ushuaia behind, and then we navigate south towards Cape Horn. First stop, Cape Horn, the most southerly island in the Tierra del Fuego archipelago. William Schouten rounded Cape Horn in 1616 and named it after his birthplace, Hoorn, in the Netherlands. The Atlantic and Pacific Oceans collide at Cape Horn, making for stormy conditions and fierce winds. Winds called the Roaring 40s, the Furious 50s, and the Screaming 60s. It rains 270 days a year here. Cape Horn marks the beginning of the Drake Passage, the most challenging nautical route on the planet. Today, the Drake is a lake. Our Zodiacs, the best inflatable boats built for stability and performance, cut through the waters and deposit us at the island. We face 70 meters and 162 rain-drenched steep stairs up to Capo de Hornos National Park, where we walk the pathway to the lighthouse, manned by this Chilean naval officer with his wife and young family. Signing the guest book is a must, and so is visiting the Petite Stella Maris Chapel. Two monuments at the Cape are tributes to the 10,000 sailors in 800 shipwrecks who lost their lives rounding the Horn unsuccessfully in these most dangerous waters on the planet. The albatross in flight is a maritime symbol of the souls of sailors lost at sea. In the poetic words of the albatross, "They did not die in the furious waves. Today they fly on my wings towards eternity in the last crevice of the Antarctic winds." A sailor rounding the Cape in the 16th to 19th centuries was entitled to wear a gold hoop earring in the ear facing the Horn as it was rounded, as a sign of courage and bravery. Leaving our life jackets at the trailhead, we follow the Darwin Trail to a grand view over Woollaya Bay. The ancient Yagan people lived here for over 10,000 years. Captain Robert Fitzroy took 4 Yagans back to England in 1826 to, in quotes, civilize them. Jemmy Button, bought for a pearl button, became a celebrity. In 1831, Fitzroy returned to Woollaya with Charles Darwin aboard to return the natives. It was a dreadful human experiment. Jemmy reverted to his native ways and was killed by his own people. The crew serves us hot chocolate, and back to the ship we go. Life aboard the ship is very pleasant. We have a comfortable stateroom, a dining room serving delightful meals. We love our waiter Manuel and our table mates from Toronto, John and Paula Rutherford. The Darwin Lounge with its open bar, and where the Canadians gather, Bardolls from Saskatchewan, Rutherfords from Toronto, and Preciviots from Calgary. A forward lounge for relaxing, evening programs, and a knot tying seminar. while the crew navigate the waterway. Prepare the zodiacs and let the glacier adventure begin. We're wearing our warmest clothes as we line up in language groups to visit this stunning glacier.
This is a big glacier and we are in the disembarkation for this morning, and I hope that you love this place.
No, 10.
Okay, you'll be in my video. I take you home to Canada. Home to Canada.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
A knowledgeable young guide accompanies each zodiac. We've traveled for 2 days to get to this magnificent glacier, and look, they've laid out the red carpet for us. The Pia Glacier is breathtakingly massive as it tumbles down from the mountains into the sea.
I have a problem. I got 2 left hands. I don't know how to operate this.
Let's walk a little bit. We're gonna make some stops before we reach the lookout.
Hooray! All glaciers are worth a jump, and look how high Alicia can get compared to me. Glacier ice is not just frozen water. Its ice comes from snow compressed over many years. Glacier ice has large crystals and melts more slowly than regular ice. All too soon we have to return to our dear Stella Australis, where we're offered hot chocolate or coffee with Johnny Walker Red Label. We pick up our key, sanitize our shoes, dry out our life jacket, and head to the Darwin Lounge for a Pisco Sour. A satellite image of the Darwin ice field, creating glaciers tumbling down the mountains. They personify the beauty of nature along Glacier Alley, seen in perfect weather. A foggy day allows us to see these glaciers looming out of the fog and mist like giant behemoths from the beginning of time. The beauty of nature is all-consuming, no matter the weather. Fresh glacier meltwater not yet mixed with the salt water along Glacier Alley. Our Stella Australis stops before the narrow entrance to the Condor Glacier. Are the imperial cormorants. They nest on these steep rocks to protect their young from predators. With their black and white coloring, Chileans call them flying penguins. Now in the Agostini Passage and a shore excursion. The sun breaks out and here is the Aguila Glacier. The air is cold at the face of the glacier. It gets progressively warmer as we walk back to the Zodiacs, board the ship, and sail away. we gather for a farewell toast. I tell the captain about my grandfather, who was a master mariner. They auction off the ship's sailing chart. Then they draw for the ship's flag. A German girl wins. On Trish and Mike's cruise the previous week, Trish is the winner. Our journey comes to an end. No, say it isn't so. At Magdalena Island, breeding ground for 63,000 Magellanic penguins, who live and raise their young in thousands of burrows dotting this island. Walk the designated pathways, but yield to the penguins who have the right of way and the right to change their mind. How interesting to watch the penguins gathering grass to line their nest, grooming themselves. But you get dirty and hungry doing all this. So it's time to head to the water, eat, and clean up. The ship awaits us, and we're off to Punta and sadly, the end of our cruise. As we fly north to Santiago, we see the Patagonian ice fields. Absolutely glorious. As we reflect on our holiday, we will remember the open bar with premium spirits, exquisite dinners, monumental glaciers. Floating chunks of ice, the red carpet, our friendly guides and smiling waiters, efficient Zodiac drivers, Magellanic penguins, the ship's real-time maps, the symbolic albatross, adventurous Zodiac excursions. Yes, we've had a brilliant Australis holiday.